Hi, I'm Ted Scheffler, City Weekly Dining Editor, and I'm here today to talk turkey. About 10 years ago, actually exactly 10 years ago, I published my favorite turkey recipe, roasted turkey for Thanksgiving, in City Weekly. And it was such a huge hit that every year since then I get oodles of requests for the recipe. Now it's long lost in the archives, so this year we're reprising it with video, flip video. So don't worry if it's a little shaky. So here we go with roasted turkey for Thanksgiving, or any other time. This recipe is so simple, if you just follow a few important techniques, that you might do turkey once a month from now on. Now, normally this recipe calls for a 15 to 18 pound turkey, though you can adjust it for any size. This little guy is only about 10 pounds. I bought a small one just for the sake of our demonstration here. He was taken at the prime of his life. Poor turkey. So we're going to soak this guy in a brine, which is nothing more than a combination, in this case, of salt and water. The cat is interested in the turkey, as you can see. That's Curry. She's guarding the turkey. Now what I've done here is, and this is a great sort of all-purpose brine recipe. Some people add herbs and spices and other things. This is simply 2 cups of kosher salt added to 2 gallons of water. If you use regular table salt, just use 1 cup of salt to 2 gallons of water. Stir it in, mix it in good, and we're actually just going to soak the turkey overnight in this brine. I've used a big lobster pot here for the brine. You can use a bucket, a clean bucket obviously, or a big roasting pot, whatever you have. Something that the turkey will fit into. The bigger the turkey, the bigger the pot. Duh. Okay, so the purpose for brining your turkey, it's not essential, but I've found that it makes an incredibly moist and tender turkey. You won't believe it. You can brine other things too, pork chops, ham, whatever. There's all sorts of stuff you can brine. Shrimp is great brine, especially big ones. So all we're going to do is we're going to pick up our little turkey here and drop it in the pot, and then we're going to let it sit overnight. I put mine in the garage. You want it overnight at a temperature that's 40 degrees or less. You don't want a warm turkey stewing in the pot. But we're just going to leave it in the pot here. It's submerged, sort of like just taking a little brine bath. Good night, moon. Good night, sun. Good night, turkey. Cover up your pot so no beasts get to it. Stick it outside on the porch or in the garage and just chill for a while. Pour yourself a glass of wine. Okay, so now it's Thanksgiving Day. Our turkey has been luxuriating in its brine bath overnight. I've taken the turkey out of the brine and rinsed it really well under cold water. You want to get all the salt water off of the turkey so it's not too salty. Makes sense, right? So you want to rinse it really well. The next step is what we call saddlebagging, not to be confused with teabagging. What we're going to do is we're actually going to saddlebag the breasts with ice. So ice on the breast. Here we go. Okay, so we've got our turkey. We're going to put it in the fridge while we work on stuffing and that sort of thing. But what we want to do is we want to keep the breast colder than the rest of the turkey. This is going to solve the problem that most people have when they cook turkeys of having a dried out breast by the time the thighs and the legs are done. So we want to make the breast colder than the rest of the turkey, and the way we do that is with ice packs, what I call a saddlebag. I'm going to reach into the freezer here, and all I did was filled up a Ziploc bag with some ice. What I'm going to do is just drape this over the breast and leave it there until we're ready to put the turkey into the oven. We want to keep the breasts extra cold. Meanwhile, we'll stick this back in the fridge, hoping not to drop the turkey on the floor. And this would be an ideal time for a glass of wine. Okay, it's getting close to time to cook the turkey, so we want to set our oven, set it to preheat at 400 degrees. Now we're just going to cook it for the first hour at 400 degrees, then lower it to 250 for about the next 2 hours, a little less than that. And while the oven's preheating, you could always enjoy a glass of wine. Okay, well now we're ready to cook our turkey. I've taken the turkey out of the fridge, I've removed the saddlebag, the ice bag, at the last minute, and all I've done was given my turkey a little butter massage, sort of massaged it with some butter. Wouldn't mind a massage like that myself. And in this case I've put some stuffing in the turkey, you don't have to. This is the point where you might want to add some seasoning, some herbs, whatever. I'm just trying to keep this recipe really simple, so all I've done is coated the turkey with 2 tablespoons of butter, 1 tablespoon for the back, 1 for the front. And you'll notice something unusual about the turkey now. It's upside down. You're looking at the back of the turkey facing up. The breast is facing down towards the bottom of the pan. And what that's going to do is while we cook the turkey, all those rich juices are going to float into the breast instead of out of the breast. So for the first portion of cooking, we'll cook the turkey upside down, and then eventually we'll flip it over to get the breast nice and brown. So we're ready to pop it in the oven. By the way, I'm not sure if you can see this or not, but one cool little trinket I discovered are these oven-proof rubber bands that you can get at kitchen supply stores. And they save you the time and hassle of having to, use a needle and thread and try to tie your turkey together, sort of. So if you're into turkey bondage, this is a fast and easy way to go. Okay, so just pop the turkey into the oven. It's going to cook for the first hour at 400 degrees. So we'll set our timer here for 1 hour and kick back and have a glass of wine. Well, okay, our turkey is now cooked for 1 hour at 400 degrees, and we're simply going to lower the temperature now to 250 degrees. Lower it to 250 and cook for about another hour and 45 minutes at 250. Still with the breast down. And I haven't even opened the oven door. Every time you open the oven door, you lose some heat. So I haven't done any basting. Remember, the breast side is down, so there's no need to baste the back. So we're just going to let this thing cook now for at 250 for the next hour and 45 minutes. I think I just did an hour and 25 minutes. We need an hour and 45. One of these days I'll figure out how to work this timer. Alright, there we go. Close enough. Okay, so there goes the timer. It's time to flip the turkey. This is the fun part, where the rubber meets the road. I'm going to take the turkey out of the oven. Now remember, it's been cooking upside down, breast side down this whole time. Now you can buy these cool tools that they're sort of like forks, big forks that help flip the turkey, but I've found that the best tool is wads of paper towels. Now this thing's hot, so be careful. So we're going to flip it over, put it back in the oven, let it cook breast side up for a while. So I just grab it by the cavities. So far so good. Haven't dropped it on the floor yet. Whoa! These guys are slippery. Now don't worry about the marks in the breast. They'll come out. Alright. That's the most difficult part of this recipe. But we've successfully flipped the turkey. Now we're going to put it back in the oven. It's only going to be about another 45 minutes to an hour and a quarter until the thigh registers about 175 on a meat thermometer. The breast about 160. And when we put it back in, we're going to raise the heat again back up to 400 degrees. So, back in the oven with the turkey. And we'll raise the temperature back up to 400. and chill out for about another 45 minutes, and this would be an excellent time for a glass of wine. All right, here we go. The turkey is at the correct temperature. We're going to pull it out of the oven and hope for the best. Ooh, that's smoky. Here we go. A brined, flip-flopped, and saddlebag turkey for your consideration. How about a toast to Tom Turkey? Way to go, turkey. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.